Let's start with a chant.
Sipping cream, sipping cream, sipping cream.
Come on, sipping cream. Let's go.
Sipping cream, sipping cream. Woo! Sorry for everybody's earholes.
What a way to start. What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Hardly Working, the show about life, love, and labor, hosted by the couple that works, plays, and stays together. And boy, that's what we did all week long. I'm SP.
And I'm Kelly.
And today is the end of an era, an end of a season. We are 10 episodes into season 1.
At the end of season 1, you could also say.
One might say the culmination, the pinnacle, the climax, the post-credit scene almost of season 1.
Yes.
Now, if you haven't been tracking with us and you're like, what does this mean? Are you guys taking time off? What are you doing? No, really not. But I am a results-oriented person, and I need metrics to know that I'm succeeding or failing. So we're doing 10 season episodes for right now. And this is the culmination of that first season. So first of all, before we get into talking about our week and that kind of stuff, thank you for everybody who is watching. Thank you to everyone who is listening. It has been really surprising and really cool. I don't know if it's tacky to talk about this stuff, about numbers and growth and that kind of stuff, but here's the deal. Y'all are with us, and we just want to share exciting things with you. So we're finishing up our first season. Some big things for me. I remember in the first couple episodes, I was like, let's just push to 1,300 YouTube subscribers. We're so close. And as I was looking at our YouTube, while I don't know that many people except for Shelby and your parents watch the whole podcast, because that's a lot. I know a lot of people listen, but we've grown. I was hoping to get to 1,600 by next season. We have passed 1,600 subscribers on YouTube.
Thank you, guys.
So it's amazing. Thank you guys so much. We've got some awesome clips, not only on our TikTok, but also on our YouTube, one of which is just about to hit 300,000 views. So thank you guys. It's very exciting. It's fun to know that people are listening and people are watching. So thank you. And here's to many more seasons.
Yeah, let's do it.
So is there anything, I'm curious for you, that when we started the show or leading up to the show, I'm just curious, that is now different, 10 episodes in, a full season in, has anything mentally or otherwise changed for you? Or have you learned anything new? Or do you know something different about yourself?
You know, it's funny. I will just say it. You prepped me for this question, and I still don't think I have an answer. But I do have a couple thoughts. First thought that I have is I thought I would be more interested or into the numbers.
Yeah, you are not into the numbers.
I'm not. And what I think I've realized is I think it's a defense mechanism. I think I'm like, I don't want to know the numbers because I don't know that I can mentally process or handle the fact that so many people are seeing us and are making comments about us, whether good or bad, doesn't matter. I think I just can't.
Yeah.
And so I thought I'd be more into the numbers, and I'm so sorry because I can never meet you where you're at. I try so hard, but I'm like, I can't do it. So that, I haven't read any comments. I won't read any comments.
Probably good.
Because I'm a child. I'm a baby. I'm a crier, which I think we've talked about before. And so I would probably just cry. You said this, so I'm going to steal it. Sorry.
Sure.
But, I think the coolest thing about the podcast, I don't know if it's something that I've learned or something that I just think is cool, is that more people have listened to us within our like sphere of people we know than I think either of us thought.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's like rekindled some cool relationships. It can get a little weird sometimes. People are like, oh, you just did da-da, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, how do you know that? Oh, yeah, because we talked about it in the podcast. But it's also been really cool to be like, oh, wow, like people like listening to us.
Yeah, and we like talking for people.
Yeah, and we can talk a lot.
Yeah, as seen in last week's episode,
yes.
That was our first over 2-hour mega episode.
Mm-hmm.
You're welcome, and we're sorry.
Yeah, but that's been really cool. So like rekindling some friendships, or like being able to, people reaching out and being able to kind of talk to people that maybe I haven't talked to in a while has been nice. I think though the biggest takeaway for me has been, I hear people say to me a lot, like, I don't know how you guys can talk to each other for so long. And like last week was a 2-hour episode, but I think it's just more proof that like we really do like each other. And I'm not just saying that, like I mean that, like we really do like each other.
We're proving to the world.
Yes, proving. But you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
we could sit here and talk all day. I'm the one who's like, got to stick to try to stick to an hour. Because I'm not sure people want to listen to us talk all day.
Yeah, and I'm the one who's like, let it go forever.
I know. But the point is that we could. Like if we wanted to do a 10-hour episode, we would find things to talk about and it would be funny and interesting, at least for us, because we think each other is funny and interesting.
True.
So that's been, I think, the most fun thing is, just getting to talk to you. I mean, I talk to you all the time, but you know what I mean? Getting to talk to you and see people be like, wow, it's so cool that you guys can do that. The hardest thing about the podcast, which is not the question you asked me. You said what I've learned, right?
Just anything that's different or you didn't realize at the beginning.
The hardest thing for me has been not telling you stuff and trying to hold it until we get to the podcast, which if I can tell you guys, doesn't happen very often. Most of the time we say something and we go, no, I can't tell you to the podcast. And then we'll look at each other and I'm like, no, I can't. Okay, I'll tell you. But like, okay, I guess I just won't bring it up on the podcast.
I think it's like 50-50 because we always talk about stuff all the time because we work together and we live together and all of that. We just talk about everything pretty much as it's happening.
Yeah.
And so it is weird.
It's hard
to withhold stuff.
Yeah, it's really hard. So that's been the hardest thing. And I know that there are times where like we haven't shared things on the podcast. And I'm not talking about like personal things, but like maybe we came up with a segment and we won't share one thing because we talked about it beforehand. Right. And so that's been an interesting balance for me because I tell you everything. And sometimes it feels like keeping secrets, even though I know it's not keeping secrets.
Right.
But I'm not good at that. I'm not good at holding in surprises. I'm not good at holding in I just want to tell you.
I'm the same way.
So I think that's it.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah. For me, it's like you said.
Sorry, what about you?
Thanks for co-hosting this podcast with me real quick. I appreciate that.
Sorry.
No, I think for me, it's very similar. Of course, I was surprised by how many people were listening and how quickly that happened, which is awesome. And look, we're still a little show. We're not like a big podcast that gets tens of thousands of downloads, but I'm just blown away already. But like you said, I think one of the big things that I didn't anticipate that I really liked was not just being surprised by who was listening. And like you said, people being like, oh yeah, I knew you were blah, blah, blah because I listen. You're like, you listen?
Yeah.
That's really fun. But it is the surprise and rekindling of old relationships and friendships and different stuff like that.
Yeah.
That has been kind of the coolest thing so far, which kind of segues into my week a little bit because I connected with my long lost brother this weekend because of the podcast.
Long lost brother.
Okay, so most of that is exaggerated. But so I have two stepbrothers, Jason and Adam. Mm-hmm. And Adam hit me up a couple weeks ago and just texted me out of nowhere. And to clarify, while we all love each other, all four of the siblings love each other, we just don't talk very much. And so it popped up and there was nothing else in the text thread. It was like literally the first text message we had. Dang. And he was talking about something on the podcast. Then I felt terrible and I later apologized because it's just one of those things that slipped through the cracks. I didn't respond.
Well, we've been busy too.
It's been, yes, very insanely busy. But I ended up going to lunch with him, his wife, his two kids, and my sister Megan this last Sunday. And he's not long lost in the sense that I didn't know I had a brother, but long lost in the sense that I've rarely hang out with my brother. And it was so fun. It was so cool to see him, his wife Katie, his two kids who are very cool, very cute, very fun to be around. Yeah. Looking forward to the day when Brooklyn gets to hang with them a bit. And then I know you've met them before. You haven't met the kids yet, but they were at our wedding. And it was just really cool. So rekindling those old friendships and relationships are really fun. And that was a big part of my week. So, or an exciting part, but most of our week was not here in Los Angeles.
No, it was not.
And in fact, it's good to be back in the studio because it's been I think it has been 2 weeks since we've recorded an episode, even though you had an episode last week while we were out of town.
Yeah.
But we've been in Orlando.
Yes, we have.
We've been working and playing together and, dare I say, staying together.
Yeah, literally.
Tell me about what we did in Orlando from your perspective, like what you did.
Well, Orlando, I mean, this week and a half has been just crazy, but we went out to Orlando. We work with a production company that we love, DB Productions. They're amazing, incredible. Their family. We absolutely love them. And SP does a lot of work with them. He hosts a lot of conferences that they are
You
producing.
hear that? That was my coaster falling to the floor after sticking to my drink. Continue.
Hey. But SP hosts a lot of conferences that they produce for their clients, or he'll DJ / host. It's
Voice
like
of God stuff. Yeah, it just depends on
VOD stuff.
what people need.
So they had reached out and they needed him. I normally travel with SP as a production assistant, if you guys don't know that, when he hosts, so that I can make sure he's fed and he's where he needs to be when he needs to be there. And if he needs anything, I can run up and grab stuff and make sure he's just set and prepared. And doesn't
I'm
really have to
basically
worry
a
about
giant
stuff.
child that needs to be watched.
Yeah, and I'm the watcher, the babysitter, but not really.
The SP
The
sitter.
SP sitter, yeah. But this time he was just DJing, but I was going to go out anyway. We had plans afterward to meet up with our friends, which I'll get to. But Craig, who owns DB, reached out to me and was like, hey, I need a backstage manager. You're on. And I was like, all right, I'm in it. I'm all in it. So I actually was working out there too. Dare I say harder than you were.
Hardly.
Oh, yeah. But it was fun. I backstage managed for the conference, which was really fun. I got a lot of time with Craig. He's like another dad. I love him so much. It was sad, though, because we normally have a ton of people that we know on this gig, but they had 2 events happening on the same weekend. And so we were split in half.
In totally different states. Totally different coasts.
They were actually out here in LA, the other half of them, and we were out in Florida. So it was sad because we missed out on seeing some of our really good friends. But I got a lot of good time with Craig, which was so fun.
Yeah, we have a lot of cool Craigs in our life, I'm realizing.
Yeah, we do. But so I backstage managed the whole entire conference, which if you don't know what that is, I was the one who basically made sure that everybody that was speaking on stage or hosting on the stage was where they needed to be, when they needed to be, and had their mics, went on at the right time, knew where to go when they got off. So that was me. I did that all weekend long, and it was really fun. I barely saw you. I saw you as you would walk back and forth from the on-stage DJ console to the backstage DJ console.
Yeah.
That was about it.
Yeah, we didn't see a lot of each other.
And in our bedroom, in our hotel room. That's it.
Just in time to be like, love you, good night.
Basically.
But this was an interesting one for me too, because we don't do this a lot, but we had a full DJ rig on a satellite stage, which just means there's a main stage, and then off to the side, maybe 5-10 feet is a small stage, which just has a facade over it and my DJ gear, and I can host and do hype stuff from there. So we had that, but we also had one backstage because there was a lot of stuff that they didn't need me on stage for. So instead of just leaving me out there
for like 30 minutes or to an hour,
not even 30 minutes. I mean, if I wasn't going to go backstage, I could have been on there from 8 a.m. until 5 p.m.
But I was saying like 30 minutes in between you having to be like,
totally.
and next to the stage.
Yeah, and just to get a little bit of insider view of what we do and why that would be difficult is because when you're on stage, you're on. Even if you're sitting in a little satellite stage, if people can see you, you need to look engaged, you need to be smiling, interacting. Like, there's just a lot more you have to do in case people look over at you. You can't be like scrolling on your phone or not paying attention.
Trying to listen to the comms to see what they're trying to tell you and what's going on.
Yes, that's another interesting thing. This gig was great. It was awesome. It is a struggle when you're DJing and even doing light hosting because I've got an IFB, which is like an in-ear monitor. Mm-hmm. So it's really deep in one ear.
That the stage call or the show caller who is basically talking
Tina,
to all of us, telling us like what to do, who's on next, where to go, what graphics need to go up. So it's not necessarily always meant for you.
Right.
It's like tons of stuff that you're filtering through. Like, is this for me or is there someone else?
Yeah. And then you've got your DJ headphones because you're still doing your job. And when we were backstage, there was a separate comms headset that goes over one other ear and has a microphone attached. The IFB in your ear doesn't have that. So at one point I was backstage and I was like, there's just so much on my head
Which
right now.
Which normally I would help with.
Totally. Yeah.
But I was working.
So it was fun. The gig was great. The party was a lot of fun. The longest day was the 7:30 call time. And then we ended at 11 at night, I think.
You did, yeah.
Yeah.
I was sleeping.
Yeah, but Kelly worked harder.
I had to work the next day.
That's true.
And you did
I
not.
Didn't. It was pretty great. I edited the podcast.
Yep.
But it was a great time. One of the things I wanted to mention, which was really cool, since we have a lot of Craigs in our life that I'm realizing, I'll say DB Craig Warren mentioned, he's like, we should do like a live version of the show.
Oh, and I'm all about it.
Like here we are, we're, on set or on stage or at the event, whatever you want to call it. Go through, meet the crew, see what people do, kind of get a behind. This is all his pitch, behind the stage, like scenes.
Yeah.
Look at how everything works. Get some unpopular opinions from people, and we're totally in, totally excited.
Yeah.
So he, some gig coming up in the future. He's going to check with the client because we got to approve it. But then we're going to see if that's something we can do,
It'd be
which
so fun.
was so cool and so encouraging. He's awesome. But for him
We
to
love you,
even
Craig.
just put himself out there to be like, yeah, we can use the bazillion-dollar setup here to record your little podcast. He didn't say that. That's how I feel about my life. It was just really cool. So you can look forward to that as well.
Yeah. So, but we did that. So we worked with DB.
Yeah.
Got to spend some time with them, which was really great. We love our time with them so much. They're so great. And Maryland's out there too. Oh my goodness. We just love them. And then, but we had already had a trip planned to Florida during
the same week.
Yeah,
basically.
that same week. It actually worked out really well because this gig was supposed to be in Vegas and got switched to Orlando last minute. But we were heading out there to go to Disney World with our friends Andy and Hannah, who I used to work with, who then moved to Tennessee last year. And are very far away from me. And I miss them very much.
And I think we probably mentioned this on other episodes, but like the four of us have been close for a few years now.
Yeah,
this is like the third vacation.
Our third vacation we've taken together.
Yeah, we've gone to a weekend in Arrowhead together. We all flew to Hawaii for a week, just the four of us, and now Orlando. So we're definitely close, but it's been a long time since we've all gotten together since they moved to Tennessee.
Because they've each come down to visit separately, and we all hung, but not all four of us. So
right.
It was so nice to get to see them. We went to Disney World. We went to all four parks.
Well, I think there's more than four.
Well, we went to all four of the parks that aren't water parks.
Yes.
Or sports parks.
We will,
the four. Yeah.
Yeah, we're planning on talking about specifically the Disney pieces in a different, not episode. It's tough to say. I just didn't want to spend the whole time talking about all 4 or 5 days.
Yeah,
so I think
fair.
we'll end up going into detail about it on a separate episode. If there's a week where we're just totally slammed, we'll throw it in there. So you'll get all of the nitty gritty, grainy details later. But a little bit of an overview. We went to 4 out of however many parks.
I think they just have 4 major parks.
So which
the
ones
other
were
ones
they so
are
people know?
auxiliary.
Hollywood Studios,
Magic Kingdom, Epcot, and Animal Kingdom. We went to all 4.
Out of those 4, your favorite was?
Animal Kingdom by far. And that, of course, was our last day. And we actually cut our vacation a day short because we had to fly back for another gig that we did with a photo booth that I did.
Well, and for
you
me,
ended up DJing as well.
The very next
day. So Animal Kingdom closes at 7. We had to leave at like 4. So it wasn't too much time, but I was pretty sad about it because I was like, how can you know what your favorite park's going to be until you get there and you experience them all? And it just happened to be the last park, and it was my absolute favorite. It was so fun.
Yeah.
I loved it so much. I wanted to stay longer, but we had to go.
Yeah, and I'll say this, since we're saving kind of the details for another time, my favorite park was that too. You probably, if anyone knows me at all, they know I'm not a theme park person.
No.
I don't even really like being outside.
He gets really sick on the rides.
That too. I don't like being outside. If you heard a beep earlier, it's because I just got too hot here and it's only like 70 degrees out, and so I turned the air on. I just don't like being outside, and walking around outside at a theme park is not what I like to do. With that said, Animal Kingdom was the best because they have real freaking animals there.
Yeah, we did a safari. It's fun.
We saw a bunch of real animals. And despite my motion sickness or my tendency towards that, we went on the Avatar. There's
ride.
2 of them. This one was the Flight of
Passage
Navatar or something.
Flight of Passage.
Flight of the Navatar. That's pretty good, actually.
Yeah. The Navi. Yeah. Flight of
the Navitar. Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
Flight of Passage. So there's a water ride and there's this ride and so it's called Flight of. We're just going to move that.
I'm telling you, these coasters, they're the loudest coasters in the world.
But what were your thoughts on that? Because you were talking about it.
You can put it back down. It'll be fine. I'll work it out. I'll keep slamming it down for the next few hours. It was awesome. I don't understand why anyone in 2023 would make a ride that's not like this. You know, to go back to traditional roller coasters, you go up really high, you go down really fast, maybe you do a loop. It just seems so crazy when the alternative is like you put on these 3D goggles and you literally fly around unknown worlds in a way that feels like you're
on a banshee. Yeah.
Yeah, like you're on a giant dragon, essentially, a banshee. Yeah. And so it was really cool.
So cool.
Only got sick towards the end, which was totally fine for me. And it was really, really great. But My favorite overall moment from that whole thing was pretty much, there was 2 nights where this happened, maybe 3, but 2, where at the end of the night, we rented an Airbnb. So all 4 of us were staying together, and we had like a little living room, kitchen area,
And
that kind of stuff.
they brought Ray, their
They brought
dog.
their dog, Ray.
Ray.
Yeah, my newest daughter.
Yeah.
And she's a big sweetie. But my favorite memories and moments were at the end of the day, we've walked around for like 12 hours in the sun. We're all hot. We're all hungry. We grab some food. We grab some drinks. And we just have an awesome time connecting and talking about the day and being ridiculous and silly. And those were my highlights.
Yeah, that was my highlight too.
Yeah.
But it was great. And I would say, I'm just going to say this comment. We'll talk about it later. But you talked about you don't know why they're making normal roller coasters anymore.
Yeah.
You didn't go on the Guardians ride, the new one, the Cosmic Rewind. If you guys don't know what that is, you should stop right now and go watch a video on it. I knew nothing about it going into it. You didn't ride it. It was just Andy, Hannah, and I. It was so fun. And it is a roller coaster, but not normal.
Okay, wait.
It was a freaking blast.
But was part of how good it was the fact that you didn't know? Because in that case, don't stop this podcast and go watch it.
Well, yeah, I guess you're probably right.
Nailed it.
I mean, but here's the deal. I've realized, and I said this to Andy and Hannah quite a bit while we were there. As I've gone, I realized if I go to a theme park that I know the rides, I'm like super stoked and excited about it because I know it's going to happen. I too get motion sickness sometimes.
Yeah.
I didn't know anything about any of the rides because we went on Tron. We went on like another one in Magic or in Hollywood Studios, the Minnie and Mickey Railroad one.
The
Railway.
Railroad. That one was shockingly fun.
Yeah, and then we went on Cosmic Rewind and Flight of Passage. I knew nothing about any of them, but I realized as we're getting ready to go on rides, if I'm not used to it, I like start to freak out a little bit. And we saw that happen. You weren't even here for this, but in Magic Kingdom, we went on Space Mountain. Guys, I'm used to Space Mountain where like the safety restraints come over your shoulders because you're going quite fast in this ride. This one didn't have safety restraints over the shoulders. This one was like Matterhorn where you sit 1, 2, 3 in like a single file.
Shoulder to shoulder?
No. Like,
yeah,
like one in front of the
file.
other file line. That's what it is. And the safety restraints just come to your waist, just like Matterhorn. I was like, if this is the same Space Mountain, we are not okay.
Yeah.
And all of us were like, what is happening? It was fine. But I realized that I get major anxiety when I don't know
what's going to happen.
And that was kind of what was happening in Cosmic Rewind. And of course, it was the 21st of September. And of course, they played September by Earth, Wind, and Fire, right?
Nailed it.
It was so fun. Okay.
That's awesome.
Sorry.
Well, we'll get more into our Disney stuff in a later episode. But as promised, it is the final episode of this season. And even though I didn't want to, I told you I would. And Kelly promised she would go out and find the Appalachian Sip and Cream. That's right, the Eggo Waffle Brunch in a Jar Appalachian Sip and Cream. I talked to my therapist. She said, hey, you can lower your boundaries, but for one day, if you don't want to do it, you don't have to. But for one day, you can do this. You can let her take control and do this segment. So I'm here to say I'm ready. I am willing. Bring on the Sip and Cream.
You know what's funny is you did that whole setup knowing full well, that I looked into it and that sipping cream is not available in California until the end of this week.
What?
But have no fear. Because your girl bought more sipping cream. It's not Eggo Waffle, but it's other ones that we gonna try.
Okay, so now I don't have to try the sipping cream ever because my boundary was today and today only.
Yeah, I know. We have
that's
sipping
great.
cream, so you're gonna try this sipping cream.
Okay, so explain.
Welcome to Boozy Time with Kelly and SP.
Wow.
I have no idea.
I hope you didn't stay up too late coming up with that title.
I didn't. I came up with it right now, and
really?
it makes no sense.
I was shocked. I was shocked. So how does it work?
Creams or sip and don't? I have no idea.
Nailed it.
So
Better
listen,
on the second draft. So I don't know what's happening here.
I know you don't. So I took a little trip
Okay.
to a little place called Total Wine to try to find this Appalachian Eggo Waffle sipping cream.
Is it Appalachian or Appalachian? How do you say it?
I don't know, the Appalachian Mountains?
Appalachian?
Isn't that how you say it?
I don't know.
That's how I say it. If it's wrong, correct me. Send us an email, hardlyworkingfans@gmail.com.
We're clearly very cultured.
Or text me. I have no idea. I don't even know where the Appalachian Mountains are. Maybe I shouldn't have said that. Are they in Tennessee? Because that's where both of these companies are from.
Yes.
You don't know.
Well, I was told there would be no
oh my
quizzes
goodness.
today.
Okay. So listen, here's the deal. Pardon me. I brought 2 shot glasses.
Oh, they're cute.
Your cacti, little cacti one, because you
Okay.
love cacti, and then a cute little plant one, because I'm a plant lady. So here they are.
Okay.
Well, I'm gonna have to figure. You're gonna have to help me because
Sure.
I'm gonna have to figure out how to do this.
Yeah, if you're watching this, then you'll see it all. If you're just listening into the car, Craig, I'll describe
Craig.
it for you.
And Troy.
Okay, so we got 2 shot glasses.
We got 2 shot glasses.
What's next?
We're gonna go through and try a couple different things. So here's the deal. I'm gonna start. So there's a difference between sipping creams and moonshine. Let's just start there.
Well, let's just start with I don't know what a sipping cream is, period.
I know. I'm gonna
also, let's talk about my aversion to things like cream or anything that's liquid and white. And so whatever a sipping cream is, it's not for sipping me. So
all right. So
this will be a fun segment.
Okay, listen, here's the deal. I went to Total Wine.
Okay.
With my mom. Love my mom. After a much needed relaxing day at Burke Williams. Okay, went to there. I asked about our Eggo waffle sipping cream. Look, we don't have it. We have it on order. It's supposed to come in. It's not available until the end of this week. And I was like, well, I need some.
Don't you know we have a podcast?
I was like, I need some. I know I didn't quite say that, but I was like, well, I need some. Do you have anything? He's like, yeah, come up here. He named a few that I'm not going to tell you because I have some of them.
Okay.
He was like, I have blah, 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 blah. And I was like, awesome. Can you show me where they are? He took me up to the little taster section. And I was like, this is perfect because I don't need to buy a whole thing of something that I'm not even sure if we'll like. But I did a little research because for those listening, I know you can't see what we're drinking. So I'm going to talk about it before we do that. Here's the deal. We have 6 different flavors today.
Wait, and these mini bottles?
All mini bottles.
So we
don't have to drink them all.
Basically gonna just get trashed and then have an entire episode to do.
Okay, so I have 6.
This is my kind of episode. This is the margarita episode all over again.
Season finale, baby.
Let's go.
I have 6 different ones that we're gonna try. But here's the deal. So the sip and cream that you talked about for Eggo waffles is made by a company called Sugarlands. Now they specialize in moonshines.
Okay.
And sipping creams, which I'm guessing is a little bit similar. We're going to talk about it.
Gross.
The other, and they're located in Tennessee. Do you know of any other moonshine companies that are located in Tennessee that we may or may not know about?
Yes.
You don't know the name of it though. I know.
Don't.
Old Smoky.
Yeah, okay.
Is what Mandy and Travis always used to bring back whenever they go out
We have
there.
it in the
They
house
have
right
a distillery out there. Yes, we do really like Old Smoky, and so they had a sipping cream as well. So I had to grab a few of each.
Oh.
But here's the deal. I grabbed 3 moonshines and 3 sipping creams.
Okay.
None are normal flavors, except for the very first one as like our base.
Look, I have no real aversion or problem
The
with
face of
booze.
disgust on your face, though.
There's something about the sipping cream that is like, it gave me goosebumps.
Yeah,
I think I might have a hard time with this.
I know. Well, you're supposed to mix it into things, but I thought if we were really to give a fair shot to rate them and to say what our favorite is, or to say
that
if
what
you
we're
at
doing?
home, say you at home should try it. We should just taste it the way it was made.
All right.
And then if we like one enough, maybe for Christmas time, we'll make some like fun cocktails with them.
Deal.
I
Okay.
don't really know. Okay.
So to recap, we've got a bunch of different drinks we're trying.
Yes.
We're rating them on a scale. I'm just going to say 1 to 10.
Sure.
And talking about our favorite
Based
and what
off-
they should have.
Yep.
Based off of all the categories.
Yep.
Let's go.
Okay, also-
we're shooting this in the morning too, so
I
this will
know.
be a great rest of our day.
Before I get started though, what I need you to explain, because I didn't look it up because I asked you and you said you knew. Can you explain to me and the viewers and listeners at home what proof means? Like what if
On, like,
something is
alcohol?
10 proof, 50 proof, 70 proof, like what does that mean?
If you don't know, every alcohol,
I don't.
or at least like a hard liquor, will say something proof,
Mm-hmm.
40 proof, 80 proof, 100 proof. That just means how much alcohol by volume is in there.
Okay.
I don't know why they do it this way, but the percentage of alcohol in, let's say there's 20% alcohol in moonshine.
Yeah.
Let's just say that would be 40 proof. So they doubled the percentage to come up with the proof.
So
I don't know why.
The higher the proof, the more alcohol.
Correct. So, but something could be 100 proof, but it doesn't mean it's 100% alcohol. It means it's 50% alcohol.
Okay.
So, and all of the, like a beer might be somewhere between like 3 to 7%, which would be like, could be, 6 to 14 proof.
Okay.
Just to put it in perspective of what we might be trying now.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's just call a beer, we'll go to the middle between 6 and 14. We'll call it 10 proof.
Okay. These are all more than that.
Okay, great.
Just record. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to start with the moonshines, then we're going to go to the sipping creams. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. And I'm going to read it a little bit about it. So remember, I have 2 different Sugarlands and Old Smoky, 2 different types.
Let's do it.
But let's do this. So The first one we're going to try is our tried and true
Okay.
Old Smoky Blackberry.
Okay. This one I have had and I do enjoy. I'll let it cut over back to you.
Here is the blackberry. See the cute little, they're really big for what they are because it's moonshine. This is how the bottles are shaped too, like little things. But we don't need to pour the whole thing. We can just try it.
I think we should do the whole thing.
No.
Yes.
For those at home and for you, this is what the website says about blackberry. Taste the sweeter side of life in the nectar of the Appalachian gods that is captured in Old Smoky Blackberry moonshine. Mix it in with some lemonade, throw it in a copper cup and enjoy a long afternoon of cornhole with friends. There's no need to muddle tiny pieces of fruit when our blackberries create a smooth yet spirited flavor with a kick that'll keep things interesting.
Okay.
It's 40 proof.
Oh.
That's why I said I don't think we need to drink all of it. You're like, yeah, we do. And just so those at home know, babe, I don't know that I can actually drink that much. You just have to know that.
That's why I'm going to put half of it in a shot glass, and you can take the rest of it out of the adorable packaging. It's a little teeny tiny mason jar.
Yeah, it is. You can ask my mom and my dad. Just a side story. But we went on a cruise last year. Strong. We normally mix this in with Sprite. We went on a cruise last year and we got this like punch.
It was a sugar punch.
It was blue, if that gives you anything.
Curacao.
Yeah, in there. And my mom and dad were like, okay, let's just chug it. My mom and dad were like chugging. SP was chugging. And I was like sipping because it was so sour. And they were laughing at me. And they were like, oh, chug like Kelly for the rest of the trip. And they would just like sip down stuff. I am not good at drinking alcohol. And I know it.
Your parents were like, who raised you? No one taught you how to chug.
Yeah,
and you were like, you raised me like a sheltered little child.
I know, yeah.
All right, are we going for it or is there more?
So this is number one.
All right, so for those of you listening, we are
blackberry.
Dinking it, dink, and sinking it. Here we go. Oh, okay. It's got it. It's not bad.
It probably needed a mix, huh?
Yeah.
I probably
good
should
thing
have
there's only
mixers.
5 more of these.
This is my favorite one, though, that we've ever had.
It's
blackberry.
really sweet and really sugary. So if that's what you're into, you might like this
but
one.
I do like blackberry.
Still better than brunch in a jar.
That's true.
All right, what do we got next?
Next, we're switching over to Sugarland moonshine.
I have a feeling the sugar is going to hit me before the...
Yeah, that's why you have water right there to drink some water.
Oh, smart. Okay.
All right.
Can you pull it out for me so I can get it going?
I got to find it.
Ooh, boy. I'm surprised Kelly did that well. Oh, it's because you didn't drink anything.
Did
you
you
take
I'm
a
bad.
sip?
But I know what that one tastes like.
Okay, well, I'm going to comment how much
better.
Kelly drinks because I'm drinking half of these every time.
Okay, hold on 1 second. This is our apple pie or Appalachian apple pie moonshine from Sugarlands.
In my opinion, it's very similar packaging, but much cuter.
Sugarlands is really cute.
The branding, the logos, it's very, very cute.
This one is 50 proof. So we just went up. And this one, it says the Appalachian apple pie serves up as, is it apple pie?
This one is Appalachian apple pie moonshine.
Appalachian apple pie serves up a zesty taste of fresh baked green apples between 2 layers of shortbread, accented with a lemon zest. The fresh snap of green apple rounds out.
Not so easy. Remember when I was doing the Baccarie stuff? It's hard.
The fresh snap of green apple rounds out into a quick citrus finish with a lingering caramel cushion.
It rounds out. They're not apple rounds.
I just don't know. I literally copy and pasted from the website. That's why I was getting stuck. But that's what it says.
Oh, it's too funny.
Fresh snap of green apple. That's what it says. Rounds
out the flavor. It's not apple rounds. It's not like circles of apples.
Here's how you can cut them.
She's one sip in,
It rounds out into a quick citrus finish with a lingering caramel cushion. I think I might like the caramel. 50 proof.
Where you go. 50 proof right there for you. Cheers, beers.
Oh, I haven't even smelt it yet.
Let's smell it.
Oh! Just kidding. It smells so good.
Okay, here we go. Oh, it is smoother than the first.
Ooh.
Dare I say, better than the first.
I can taste that caramel.
I can taste some sort of spices.
This one's good, guys.
Yeah, you gonna have some more of it?
Yeah, I am gonna take another sip.
All right.
Goodness.
I'm gonna see how much I can get her to drink before we pick our kid up from school.
Can I have the lid for this one? Oh.
Number 1, parents. Can't wait till this comes up in a future custody.
This one's
hearing.
good.
Mm-hmm. You know what? Yeah, so far, we can line them up. How about that?
Yeah, here.
That's yours. You can move your shot glass because you don't want it. Right now, we've got the Sugarland's apple pie is number 1, followed by the
Blackberry. I might have a new favorite.
Oof. Okay.
Oh, wait. Are we going to rank them after? Wait, what'd you rank this one? Do you want to rank them after?
You know what?
No.
Instead of 1 to 10, let's just put them in order.
Okay. So blackberry, not as good. This one's smooth. You can taste the apple and the caramel at the end, I think really is what makes it so smooth.
That's right.
Good job, Sugarland.
Still better than brunch. What's next?
This one is the Mark Rogers American Peach.
Okay. This one scares me a little bit.
Because it's clear.
Because it's the first clear one. It feels like we're about to have like real made in a bathtub moonshine.
I need you to know that they had like just straight moonshine available in this size. And I went, no.
Okay.
Like there's no way. We're just doing flavors. So
I'm sorry. Am I reading that correctly?
Mark Rogers.
No, 70 proof.
Oh yeah. This one is 70 proof.
I thought I was like, am I reading that right? Mark Rogers, really?
This one is the highest proof that we have.
It has.
So I'm going to tell you, pour yourself less.
No, I can't be controlled.
He has to do the rest.
It looks like that Cuban dictator or somebody, Fidel Castro, on the label.
Okay, I'm going to read it to you.
Okay.
All right. Mark Rogers is a true American hunter.
I'm sorry. He's not a true Cuban patriot.
No. True American hunter, fisherman, and woodsman. He's made moonshine most of his life, learning the trade from his 12 uncles when he was only 8 years old. Brooklyn's 8.
Yeah. Wow. So 3rd grade, he's like, time to make some liquor, child.
Yeah. Mark was taught to slow down and make it right, Rogers says. Once you've had some good liquor, you'll know it.
He was 8 when that quote was taken.
Mark Rogers American Peach boasts the natural taste of ripe summer peaches. When sipped, this sweet and velvety spirit will deliver a traditional warmth of moonshine. That's why it's 70 proof, because it's going to be...
Peaches,
this was a bad idea.
Peaches,
why did I say I was going to do this?
Cheers, beers. Here we go. This one is strong. Okay. Dink it and sink it. Wonder. It's got a little back end on it. I wonder how this is translating over audio. Probably
Not well.
Really invigorating stuff. How you doing?
It's great. Sugarlands.
Oh my
Try
gosh.
it today. Not a sponsor.
Here's where I think we'll differ, though. I still think it's better than the blackberry. But
Yeah, I agree with you.
Really?
Blackberry is better when it's mixed in with stuff.
Okay, so far, Sugarlands is really just beaten out.
Can I say this, though? It did say velvety, and I agree. It was I didn't like it, but it was a velvety taste. I think if I mix that in with something, it'd probably be better.
I know I've had 3 shots of moonshine, but is velvet what is velvety? Is that a texture?
Yes.
Or a color?
It's a texture.
Now, to be fair, I don't see colors. Oh,
Do
you
you
know what
see
I'm thinking
textures?
of? Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I'm thinking of violet, not velvet. Well, better clip that out. Okay. What's the 4th and final one?
Okay, there is no more. There's 3 now sipping creams.
Oh, we're at the sipping creams.
Yeah,
this
that's
is
my
where my
6th.
Tums is going to start fighting back.
All right, so you asked the question. Oh,
Yes.
yes. So you asked the question, what is a sipping cream? That's a great... Oh, wait, no. Hold on one second.
This is audio gold.
It is honey gold. I wanted to name some of the other flavors that they have. Yeah, so I also wanted to name some other flavors of moonshine that Sugarlands have. I guess I didn't write it down for the other one, but I'll tell you now. So they also have blueberry muffin, root beer, Chipper Jones sweet tea.
Oh gosh, Chipper Jones, the baseball player.
I don't know who that is. Yeah, sure. Maple bacon, NASCAR 75th anniversary pina colada, peanut butter and jelly.
Wait, I'm sorry. That's a mind confuser.
I know, they partner with
NASCAR's
75th pina colada.
Not what I would have
Anniversary.
thought. Like NASCAR's 75th Bud Light
No,
colada.
it's pina colada.
Okay.
They also have a peanut butter and jelly one and a PGA Championship lemonade, to name a few of the moonshines that Sugarlands has to
I
offer.
bet the lemonade's good.
Yeah, I know. Those weren't a part of the little testers. I
Quite
just
all right.
grabbed these ones. All right, so now we're moving on to sipping creams. But wait, I guess before we do that, I should ask you, out of the moonshines, which one was your favorite?
They're in the right order.
They're in the right order?
Number 3 is blackberry.
Yep.
Number 2 is the one we just had, which was
The
peach.
apple pie. No,
No,
peach.
number 1 is apple pie.
I agree. I think the apple pie was the best flavor.
5 stars.
I could see that mixed in with something would probably be really, really good.
Yeah, but even on its own, it wasn't bad.
That's true.
which is good for me. I know I'm getting hiccupy and burpy. You guys are going to love the next hour of this show.
All right. So what is a sipping cream? That's what we're on to now. I have 3 sipping creams for us to try.
Tell me.
Sipping cream is a rum-based cream liqueur featuring a decadent array of 40 proof flavors.
Oh my God.
Perfect for desserts, cocktails, or an anytime treat.
Or podcasts.
Yeah. Normally we would mix it into hot cocoa or tea or coffee is what they say, but you can also just sip it the way that it's supposed to be sipped.
Yeah, you can sip gasoline too, but like you shouldn't.
That's
This is
true.
supposed to be mixed in hot chocolate, and we're just going to do it raw dog style?
Well, I wouldn't. Here's what I would tell you in this one, since it is a cream, don't do a full shot. Just like sip it. It's a sipping cream, so sip it.
Look, I go big or I go home. And since this is kind of like my home, away from home, I got to go big.
So, all right.
All right, so bring out the first of the sippin' creams. It's sippin' cream is like an onomatopoeia, a word that sounds like what it is. And sippin' cream just sounds as gross as it's going to be. I also anticipated it being a more creamy color, but that is like a tar color.
This?
Yes,
It's mostly the jar.
we're still in the cute little teeny mason jar arena here.
Because it's all from...
But you know what that looks like? Coffee concentrate. Like that jetpack fuel that spilled all over our fridge. Is what it
Chris
looks
Olsen, shout out.
like. Shout
Flight
out
fuel.
to Chris Olsen. I don't know who that is.
He's friends with Megan Trainor. He's an...
Shout out to Megan
Influencer.
Trainor. I don't know who that is.
Yeah, you do.
Who?
Megan Trainor.
What is this? Is this sipping cream?
You know who Megan Trainor is.
I don't know who that is.
She's a singer. You do.
I've never heard
If
of that.
I was you,
Yeah?
I'd want to be me too.
Me too.
Me
Why are you telling me that?
Okay, anyways.
Why are you telling me that?
So this one is butter pecan.
Look, you
So-
just need to know that I'm just here for the treble.
But I'm all about that bass. The bass.
I feel, guys.
I can tell.
Feel it in my tums. Not in my head, but in my tums that it's like, what did you do to me?
Are you going to be able to get through the rest of this pot? I told you we should have saved this for the end.
No way.
Okay.
This is the podcast I would want to listen to.
That's probably
It's
true.
Drinks at the front and just nonsense at the end.
So
all right, let's do
this
it.
one is they're all Appalachian, by the way. Appalachian sip and cream liqueur butter pecan.
Oh, I don't like butter pecan things, period.
I didn't know that. I actually thought you would like this one.
No, because here's why. They try to put butter pecan in a pie. Nuts do not make a pie.
That's
Pies
true.
are amazing. Cherry pie, not so much apple. Key lime, lemon meringue, banana cream. You know what's not a pie? Is a bunch of nuts with sugar put together. It's not good, and it's like the worst pie for you. Did I kill enough time that you could open that?
You did. It smells good. It smells like butter pecan,
May I?
and then also with alcohol. But it is the consistency of like milk.
Oh, this is gonna be so bad for me. Let me smell it.
It smells good, and then it smells bad, right? It's like that alcohol that comes.
Okay.
You good?
If you are the type of person who gags when other people gag, maybe just be warned. It is not brown at all. It is absolutely creamy, and it is
But it looks like milk.
totally, yeah. This is like my nemesis.
No, it's not.
Okay.
All right, let me
let's
read
see
it
how
to you.
this
So
goes.
this butter pecan cream gives off a smooth aroma of toasted praline and vanilla. The buttery
You say
toast,
praline?
yeah, praline and
Praline?
vanilla. I don't know.
Depends on what part of the country.
The
you're from.
buttery toasted pecan flavor
Oh,
rounds
my God.
out into a lingering brulee aftertaste, satisfying even the most demanding sweet tooth.
Well, I don't have a sweet tooth, but I am pretty demanding.
You're gonna do the whole thing. I told you just a sipping cream.
Cheers, beers. Oh, okay. You go first. Oh, it smells like nuts. What do you think?
It's good.
Did you just take a sip or do the whole thing?
I took a sip, but I'm gonna have some more.
All right, you talk about it while
It's
I
the
take a sip.
aftertaste. It's like the taste or the burn of alcohol afterward. But
All right, you
it's
talk.
good.
Here we go.
It's really smooth. I think I'm gonna like sipping cream. Man, he just downed a whole half shot.
Oh, it's bad. Oh, it's bad. It's like the Eggo waffle. It's what I imagined. Oh, I'm not a fan. Oh, it is thick. Oh, it
I
is
like
gross.
He's definitely not gonna like the next one, guys.
Oh,
Where's the lid, babe?
How many more do we have?
2 more.
Oh, let me describe it.
It tastes like butter pecan, like 100%. These are going to be in a different order because these 3 are moonshines.
You can go ahead and put that right in the back.
I think the next one is going to be in the back for you.
It tastes a little bit like Christmas, not in a good way.
It does not.
It does. It tastes like knockoff Christmas.
It
Oh, I have it.
tastes like Thanksgiving.
that's kind of what I mean. The holidays.
Yeah, because Christmas
I can't
tastes
get
like
it out of
cinnamon.
my mouth.
Take some wine. So sorry.
I gotta get a. Wait, they're all creams? Do I
Yeah.
need to get a new shot glass?
It's up to you. They're all
I'm
creams.
gonna get some more. Hold on.
Do you want another shot glass? I have one right here.
Yeah, sure. Oh, okay.
I don't think you're gonna like this one.
Oh, I didn't like the last one. Oh gosh.
This one is dark chocolate coffee.
Whoa.
Appalachian Sip and Cream Liqueur dark chocolate coffee.
Dark chocolate, not my favorite. Chocolate in general, don't care for it. It's fine. What was the last word of that? Dark chocolate what?
Coffee.
Coffee. Oh yeah, coffee's great as it is. When you start adding booze to coffee, it weirds me out. Irish coffees, I'm an Irish American, but it's not for me.
I like it.
And judging by your facial expression
I
just
don't like
now,
the way that it smells.
oh, I'm getting burned.
But I do like. So okay, so
Pass
this.
it over.
There we go. This dark chocolate coffee sip and cream grabs your attention with the scent of brown sugar and toffee. Enjoy the taste of decadent, rich cacao and roasted coffee
it smells
bean.
like vomit. It 100% smells like throw up. Can we do this last? Because I don't know that I can do another one after. This smells like
I thought
bile.
you might want another flavor to cover up that flavor.
Okay, I trust you, but that really smells like throw up.
Here's what can you try? Can you just listen to me for 5 seconds when I say don't pour yourself half a thing? Just literally pour a sipping cream.
I have come this far.
But if you vomit after this one, I can't do the rest of the podcast without you.
Yeah, you can. I'm going to take the microphone off of this stand and
sit
just
on the
do
floor.
it on the floor.
Oh wait, okay. Can I read the rest of this to you though?
Oh my God, it's so
dark
bad.
chocolate coffee sipping cream is wonderful as a standalone liqueur for sipping on neat,
Sure.
on the rocks after dinner, or for mixing in a cocktail. Again, all of these are 40 proof.
Hey, this looks like something I should shake, by the way.
Yeah.
Listen to that. Some ASMR for you.
He's losing it, everybody.
It's bad, yo. Here we go. Okay.
Don't pour yourself as much. I'm serious when I say
know.
that.
And I'm
really,
serious when
because this
I
is the
say
one that I was like,
that I'm
I
going
don't
to.
know. I'm like how you're still using the same shot
Oh,
glass.
you're right. All right, describe it while I pour.
It's a dark chocolate coffee sipping cream.
Oh, is there no more? It's just
no.
that?
I read it all.
How would you describe the smell of? Oh, it's okay. It is the color and consistency
It looks
of
like
chocolate
coffee.
milk.
Yeah,
Or coffee.
It looks
Yeah,
like
yeah.
coffee, like a
That's
coffee
for
cream.
you.
Here's your last.
It is
shot glass.
Thank you. I will say this though. The jar is very cute.
It's all very cute. It has a little bear on it with a
Yeah,
cape.
it's dark. It looks like if you were trying to do like a Halloween decoration
Yes,
of
I would
mini
say pick
potions or
this
something.
one.
Yeah, it's really fun. And as weird as this is, we save little things usually for like bath time fun for our kids.
Brooklyn. But this will
if
be
it's
Halloween
glass, we wouldn't.
decoration.
Yeah, that'll be perfect.
Maybe we'll put it outside with all the other stuff.
All right, let me try it first because you tried it first last time.
Go for it.
I just need to mentally get there. You're strong. You're brave. You're courageous. You can drink anything. Nothing will ever kill you. You'll never die. Here we
You
go.
are not afraid.
I haven't breathed out my nose yet. Because if you don't breathe out your nose, it makes you gag less. So you breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth. Okay.
That was pretty smooth.
I will say this.
That was good.
It's not bad at all. The smell needs to be changed.
But I poured this over some ice and I would drink it. It kind of tastes like a really good, rich chocolate milk.
It tastes like a boozy milkshake, but it smells like a stab wound. Don't smell it. Just drink it. It's not bad. I apologize for giving it such a bad time. We'll have a little whatever's
left. Look, guys,
on the
he
back.
likes it. This is going number one spot. Can I have the lid for this one?
If you take a small sip though and you breathe out your nose, you get a little bit of the bile. Plug your nose wherever it goes. That is
You gotta like rest in your mouth and like taste all the tastes.
yeah. If you're a chocolatey person, you probably like that. Let's do the last one so I can.
Well, let me say this before we get there. We have
clear
one
my
more,
mind.
but other sipping cream. This is so we're done with Sugarlands. The last one's going to be Old Smoky, but other flavors that Sugarlands, whatever, offers are Strawberry Dream, Electric Orange, Peanut Butter, Pumpkin Spice Latte, Banana Pudding,
Yes.
Eggo Nog, and of course, Eggo's Brunch in a Jar, which is waffle and syrup. cream.
Allegedly.
Well, here's the deal. I knew I had to get something that looked and felt the same as the Eggo brunch. And so the last one,
Oh no.
I think does that for us. This is from Old Smoky, not
Okay.
a sponsor.
Not yet. And also, for the sake of YouTube, we are not trying to sell, distribute, or do anything with alcohol to anyone,
just
including
trying it.
minors. So please don't be mad at us.
This one's banana pudding, but doesn't it look like Eggo? waffle one.
Yeah, it feels better. If you can't see it, it has these sliced bananas
banana
across
cream.
the top, but it looks like just crap has been stuck on the inside of the jar, so it doesn't look visually really appealing.
Yeah, it like is a cover. So like it's like a white label.
Yeah.
And then they have like the banana cream pie at the top.
You know when you slice a banana,
pudding.
you slice it into circles and then you leave it out for a while and it starts getting dark? That's what it looks like. And what color would you describe that fluid in there? Because it looks nursty.
It looks like the first one we had.
Okay.
Okay. So banana pudding. I want to smell it before I give it to you.
We're opening up this nasty jar. You know what? Here's the deal. I am a fan of bananas. I'm not ashamed to say it. It might just be the best fruit consistently, as long as you eat it right after it's turned yellow and before it gets spots or lines. Kelly, what's happening?
It smells like banana pudding.
Oh,
Here,
wow.
the lid's
Shocking.
not on all the way. It smells good, babe. Smell it.
Smelling it in 3, 2, 1. It's confusing.
It's 35 proof, this one.
So it's a little less than the others.
Okay, so this one, the description of this is banana pudding ranks up there with all the best things in life, which I do agree with. I
agree.
like banana pudding a lot.
It is great.
Which is why we took the flavors of vanilla wafers, whipped cream, and bananas and blended them with our moonshine. So this one's not with rum, this is moonshine, to create a smooth sipper to make life even sweeter.
Oh my gosh. So those other ones weren't... they
were rum-based.
They were rum-based? That explains a little more. I know you said it, but I forgot. Oh, it looks like...
Banana cream pie if you put it, a pudding if you put it in a blender and mix it.
No, it looks more like Infamil or something you feed...
I don't
like
know
your,
what that is.
Yeah, well...
Oh, baby powder.
Yeah, a baby thing. Baby powder?
Baby, like,
Formula.
stuff. Formula. You mix it.
Cheers, beers. All right, let's do it. Last one of the day. Last one of the day. Oh, the banana flavor is really good, but whatever else is in there is a little bit rough. Going in for a second sip.
I did not like this one. It's so bad.
Okay. Are you crying?
No. Give me more of the other one. Oh my gosh.
Okay. The banana flavor is very banana-y in a good way. Not only slightly that fake banana taste. And for those listening and not watching, Kelly has the choice of washing this taste down with tea, water, or other booze, and she picked creamy booze. That's my wife.
Then creamy.
Yeah, so the more I sit with it, the more phony the banana flavor tastes, but it does taste like banana pudding.
I was going to say that imitation banana never quite tastes the same as real banana.
Where do you fall on the runts banana thing? You know, those like, you get them at the mall. It's like different fruits and they're like hard candies.
I don't like runs.
Oh, I like the banana runs.
But I do think I remember liking those ones. I don't really know. Okay.
Wowzers.
Before we wrap this up, let me just tell you the other flavors that they have as sipping creams.
We have to do an episode after this.
Other flavors include pumpkin spice, key lime cream.
I don't know.
I know. I thought about you.
I love key lime pie.
But they also have a butter pecan, mountain java, and a flavor that's just called some beach.
It's Ken's drink.
Yep. It's coconut and cream is what that one is. But I laughed really hard when I saw that one. Okay. Gosh, my eyes. All right.
Wow. Oh god.
So what was your, so this is how we're ranking them, right? From from worst to best for just the sipping creams. It's banana cream, butter
I can't
pecan.
even talk yet.
And then the best being the dark chocolate coffee.
Yes, which was a wild card.
I
dark
really
horse.
thought that we would both not like that one, but it tastes, you know what it tastes like? Ashley May will appreciate this. It tastes like an espresso martini.
Oh, here you go with those espresso
I know they're so good,
martinis
but that's what it
again.
tastes like. And I'm like, that's pretty good. I would take it.
Wowzers. Thank you for designing this segment. I love you so much.
You're welcome.
I feel like I love you even more than I did before I started this.
It's like still in my body. Really?
I know. Yeah, I gotta
Because
wash
I gave
it
you
out.
alcohol?
Yeah, because it worked.
Did it?
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
I don't know how I'm gonna do with that sipping cream, like the actual Eggo waffle brunch in a jar. Because leave them. I can finish those.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Not you can take the sipping creams.
Go back.
Oh, it's in my brain. It's in my body. Well, thank you though. That was fun.
Can I ask you a question?
I don't know. It seems
Right,
like a lot.
Which one did you like? If these are our top two, the apple pie and the dark chocolate coffee.
Yeah.
Which one did you like better?
It's for
Sorry. He's having a tough time over
Neither
here.
of us can stop hiccuping, burping, and trying not to gag.
Oh gosh.
I am so sorry. What a gross way to finish our season. Look, the shocker was the chocolatey one. Which one was that? The sip and cream?
Yeah, the dark chocolate
That
coffee.
was the shock, yeah. But
That
I
was-
still think the best is probably the apple pie one.
Yeah, I can't quite figure out what I would mix it in with, but I think if you mix it in with something, it would be so good. It's not, the answer isn't Sprite, so I don't really know.
With the apple pie, you could do Sprite. I think you can get away with
I'm
that.
going to look it up while you continue to talk.
Well, I don't know if y'all know this, but I've done a lot of commercial and industrial work in my life. And I did do, I think it was an industrial for a company called Not Your Mom's.
Yeah.
Which is hilarious.
Isn't that an alcohol company?
Yeah, yeah. And they did stuff like this. Not Your Mom's hard apple cider, Not Your Mom's other
Oh,
stuff.
yeah.
It was great because we were on set at like 6 a.m. in I don't know, Beverly Hills or something. And the whole thing was like I was a bartender telling all of their salespeople, like, here's the new stuff. It's so great. But I had to drink it every time. And by the time we finished a couple hours of filming, I was like, you guys are going to love it. It's,
Did you have to take sips every time?
yeah,
Dang.
lots of sips. It wasn't a sip and cream. It was a drinking drink.
Cool.
It was good times. Well,
You really wasted a lot of time for me, and I still haven't found any.
what are you even looking for?
I'm looking for a cocktail recipe for that one. Apple pie sunshine.
Tell me
Simple
about
syrup, triple sec, fresh squeezed lemon, maybe lemonade. Okay. Oh, an apple cranberry mule. All right. Okay. Which one did you just have?
It doesn't matter. If
Yeah.
they're not watching, they don't know I just took more.
He just took the rest of what I left over of the peach one, which was 70 proof for the record. Woo! Fun episode, everybody. Let's go.
70 proof.
All
in
right.
my
That's
veins.
the end of boozy time with me.
Wow.
With us.
And yeah, we're gonna go straight into.
Wow. I really feel it in my head.
Can I tell you this?
It's all terrible. Yeah. What?
We should never drink alcohol
Okay.
ever again.
Yeah. Also, I don't know if you know anything about Disneyland. They don't serve alcohol at Magic Kingdom or Disneyland, but all the other parks, it's fair game. And let me tell you, we drank at every park, especially Epcot, where we drink around the world. I've been drink more at Animal Kingdom.
Ugh.
I really should probably stay away from that for a while.
Yeah, and to
I
be
felt
fair,
sick.
I did the parent style, which is basically when your meals consist of just eating what your child hasn't eaten
Yeah,
from their
he
meal.
just
That was me at Disney
Drank what I
World.
didn't drink,
Yeah, ate and drank whatever was left over.
which is normally a lot of booze because I'm like 10 sips in and I'm like, that's good. I'm done.
yeah, and also
Except
a
for
little
the
behind
margarita,
the scenes.
you double shot margarita mezcal that you made me drink.
It
And
was
I was
a
like,
slushy,
"Ugh."
and it gave me a huge brain freeze.
Anyway.
Yeah, I have a very high tolerance. We'll see by the end of this episode. But we were gonna do one of those videos like, "Hi, I'm SP or I'm Kelly, and this is my first drink," and then later like, "This is my last drink," and see the
It didn't
difference.
happen.
Didn't happen because even with the amount we consumed, it just wasn't never enough.
It was too far around to walk.
Yeah. Well, never having booze ever again might be an opinion that most people don't agree with, which transitions perfectly and very forcefully into this week's Unpopular Opinions.
Nailed it.
That sounded like Beetlejuice, the
Yeah, it did.
musical. Unpopular Opinions.
Yeah, it really did.
Because you're dead.
I'm going to put my phone down.
All right. So this week, like every week, we have put up 10 unpopular opinions for you guys, our hardly working audience and friends, to vote on. You showed up in major force, and I appreciate it.
Thanks,
Here
guys.
are this week's opinions, starting with our polarizing opinions. Fair warning, a lot of these weren't polarizing.
Okay.
So usually we can break it up into like 3 distinct segments, but a lot of these are kind of in the middle. But here's our 3 polarizing opinions. Just a reminder, Kelly has never seen these. She skips through them, so these are all new to her.
Yeah.
The first one is college culture is too focused on careers and should be about learning for its own sake.
Yes.
I agree. And
Agree.
70% agreed with you as well.
Yeah. I never finished college. Fun fact.
Fun fact, I did finish college. And
Barely.
Oh, that's a story for another time. I didn't barely finish
no.
college.
It was like a maybe for a
I
while.
don't know that I can.
And then we finally
Are
made it
you guys
happen.
married? It's a maybe for a while.
It was a maybe for a while,
was.
actually.
It was not us, but
Thanks,
college.
Dad. Love you so much.
Wait, us was a maybe?
Our dad. Oh gosh, I feel so bad. Dad, I love you, and you fixed it. You made it happen. I just need you to know.
Yes.
But he did lose our marriage certificate.
It's true.
And so we went on our honeymoon with a lost marriage certificate and had to figure it. Well, he figured it out when we got back.
We had to figure it out, as if we went to like Sandals, Jamaica, and they were like, "Are
we
you
didn't. It
really
happened.
married?"
We did it happen. It was fine.
Also, we didn't go to Sandals.
No.
But I would.
Went to Europe.
I wonder if they still have sandals. So that was number one. Number two, most self-proclaimed night
We don't
owls.
need to talk about that one? Okay.
I don't. Well, these ones I feel like we can burn through a little bit.
Okay, can I just say this about that one? Because I feel strongly about this, and I know you know that. Sorry, I'm still like, it's in my throat.
You can't get that banana flavor out.
No, it's just like
on
the
banana.
It's just like, Okay, anyways, I think it's dumb that you have to take, I mean, like high school's high school, like whatever. You take the course you need to take to try to like be on the same page with everyone else. I think that's totally fair and right. You take courses to see what you like and what you're good at. That's fine. I think it is so dumb that you have to retake courses that you took in high school in college if you don't place high enough.
Are you talking about APs?
Not just APs, but in general. Like, here's the deal. If I'm going to get a degree in music or a degree in business or a degree in marketing, whatever it is, I shouldn't have to take classes that don't add up to that.
General education classes? Is that what
Yeah, I
you're
took
talking
them in high school. So why do I need to take more why do I need to pay you more money to take the same classes I took in high school that I struggled through, that I know I'll never need?
Because you need to know the language that Mesopotamians
I need to know
spoke
geometry.
and wrote
For what reason?
between the Tigris and Euphrates rivers.
Do you know what I mean though?
Yeah,
like,
I do.
I'm like, why do we do that? You just want money from us. And it's just dumb.
Yeah, I'll go on record as saying college is a scam.
Yeah, I agree.
I
Anyways.
think there's good parts to it, but most of it is like, hey, if I wanted to take out a $60,000 loan as an 18-year-old for a house to live in, the bank would be like, no. If I want to take a $60,000 loan out for college, it'd be like, yeah, here it is, and enjoy being in debt for the next 2 to 3 decades.
Yeah, and also you go to college, you get a degree, and then you get a job as a temp or as some really low thing because you don't have the experience to do that. I learned everything that I know from working.
Well, it's because you didn't go to college.
Yeah, but I'm very good at a lot of things.
You are,
and I learned all of that stuff from working.
I agree.
No college course could have taught me what I know now.
Which is the problem.
Yeah.
But you know what? We'll save that
That's
for another
okay,
one.
sorry.
Because we are passionate about that, but we'll
I am very
get
passionate
to
about it.
So let's get to the
But
next
stay
one.
in school, kids.
That's right. And dare. Number 2, most self-proclaimed night owls aren't actually night owls. They just have a poor sleep schedule.
Yes.
I agree. And so did 76% of people.
Yeah.
Moving on to the third and final polarizing opinion of our unpopular opinions. Artists don't owe fans anything.
Well, I don't know that I agree with that.
So
I think there's a level of what you owe, but I don't think they owe as much as fans expect them.
I agree. And this one was the least polarizing
Okay.
in the sense that it was more in the middle, but still outside of the
What
other
side
ones.
did people lean?
62% agreed that artists don't owe their fans anything, and only 38% disagreed. But here's the deal, because a couple people, like Hannah, texted me after and was like, just so you know, I meant to say this, or this is what I think.
Mm-hmm.
When I read this, I literally thought artists, like painters.
I thought
sculptors.
musicians.
So I think that's what most people thought.
Yeah.
And that was the example I got a couple times, was like, if you pay for a ticket to go see a performance, like they owe you something for sure.
Yeah, well, and I say that, and I also look at it. We just talked about this with Shawn Mendes, but I look at it and I go, if you want to be an artist that's famous, then you need fans who are willing to pay for the product that you're putting out. Which in this case, my brain went to musician or singer, like think Taylor Swift. Like you, in order to get to the level of fame or like, why do you keep drinking them? He just finished.
If it's here,
Number 2, number 3, number 2.
I don't want to talk about it.
Number 3.
So Taylor Swift, Shawn
Number 2.
Mendes.
Yeah, like if you want to be
I'm
able,
very high functioning.
I know you are. If you want to, I know, you're Irish. It's in your blood. Not me though, even though I am Irish and it's in my blood. Not a high tolerance.
Shawn Mendes, Taylor Swift.
If you want to be famous and you want to be an artist that is successful, that makes a lot of money, that is well known, I think you do owe something to your fans. Do I think that fans have the right to stand outside your house and take pictures or come up to you or like follow you and stalk you around? No, I don't. I think that is completely unfair and wrong, that these people can't live normal lives. And at the same time, if you were going to be as popular or as famous as you are, I think that is because you have fans that want to listen to your music and that have invested in you.
Yep.
And so I do think that there is a level of it. Oh, seems like a harsh word, but like I think about like Selena Gomez, who like seems to be one of the good ones who like will, whenever she goes somewhere, she'll always take time to be with her fans and like
Right.
to take pictures. She doesn't just like say no thank you, like she'll like stop and take pictures. She has boundaries on that, right? She's going to take a quick picture and then keep doing what she's doing. But it's I think for me, I go like understanding that the fans have made you who you are. Yes, you put effort and work into it as well, but people had to like you enough to be like, yes. And I think it's just the price you kind of pay for being famous. However, I do think that fans take it too far.
I agree.
Like, and the best example I have right now, it's relevant, Taylor Swift, is when she went to Jack Antonoff's wedding. She was just a guest. People found out where she was. And then the next thing you know, you have a mob of people there kind of ruining their wedding because they want to get a glimpse at Taylor Swift. When I'm like, okay, but we also have to have a level of respect for these people. Like they are just people. And I wouldn't want people like standing outside my house, taking pictures of me all the time. Like, I don't think they owe that.
I agree. I'll keep my Taylor Swift thoughts out
I know.
of
I'm
this.
just using my most relevant ones that I have.
What I would say is, I think if you are like a musician, you do, and people are paying lots of money to see your show, you do owe them a good show.
Oh yeah.
I think when it comes to making new art, like new music or new movies, I don't think you owe anyone anything. I think if you are, you can't understand it unless you are a creative, like a creative type person.
Yeah.
But like the creativity should spring from something that isn't just what people want it to be. Like it shouldn't spring from, I'm going to do this because I think people will like it. It should spring from a place of joy or inspiration or something. So I don't think artists owe their fans anything in that sense, except to if people pay to see something, show up and do your 75-minute set or whatever. Yeah. I won't say anyone specific, but yeah, do that. And the writer, director, filmmaker Kevin Smith really taught me this, which was like, your fans are your bosses. Like in the sense that if no one cares about what you do, like you don't have a career.
That's true.
That doesn't mean your whole life revolves around every single person who wants to stop you. But like, it is cool and important to interact with people and be kind. And that's always been our philosophy. Obviously, we're not anything like these people, but it's always like, take time to make people feel seen and heard and known.
Yeah.
So that's my thought on that. A couple more. You ready?
Yeah.
So these are no longer polarizing. They are runners up. The next 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Is that right? Next 7.
Dang.
These ones are all really close.
Okay.
This is the first one for runners up, runner ups. Fake lashes are ugly, and you won't be taken seriously with them.
I think the latter part of that is too far. My preference is not fake lashes.
Yeah, I have seen you with fake lashes.
No.
But I've seen you before in fake lashes, but not normally. You have worn them. And
like
yes,
like fake ones that you put on for the night.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I think there's a time and a place. My brain went to like lash extensions, like permanent ones that not permanent, but they stay on for a while.
Yeah, I don't even know what that is. But here's the deal:
You've seen it.
Well, I have many people in my life who look beautiful and lovely with their lashes that aren't real lashes, but they're amazing.
Yeah.
You know who you are, and you know that I love you, and you look wonderful. So I disagree with this. I also understand that if something is like outrageous, if I can feel the wind change when you blink, it's probably too much. But like the people in our life, I'm like, your eyes look beautiful.
Yeah.
And it looks wonderful.
I think
and
it's a personal choice.
Totally. So, but 45% of people agreed that you can't be taken seriously, and 55% disagreed.
Yeah, like I said, I think that's too far. I think you can be taken seriously. My personal preference is that I think fake lashes are intended for a specific purpose. I think I wore them for our wedding.
Yeah, I think so.
For like photos. Sometimes I'll wear them when we do like higher class events, but normally I don't like the way I look with them on. Yeah. Unless someone does it for me. So that's just my personal thing. But I think people look great with them on. I just don't know that I do.
If I had more confidence, I think I'd wear eyeliner.
We can try it out.
We can try it out. Season 2, baby.
Opener. Okay. Next one. Hit me with the next one.
Next one. Taking a shower every 2 to 3 days is perfectly respectable.
Yeah.
45% agreed, 55% disagreed. Look, if you're pushing 3 days, that can be a long time depending on what you've done.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I won't speak for you. I used to think I was an every other day showerer, but I'm not. I'm like every single day.
You rinse off, yeah.
Yeah, like even if I don't wash my hair, I'm like, I got to get into a shower and just rinse the day off of my body before I get into bed.
Yeah, I think I think it's one of those things that's dependent on you. I wash my hair every other day, but my hair tends to get greasier, as that people will say it, greasy.
Yeah.
After like a day and a half, 2 days. Some people can go a lot longer. I do use dry shampoo. If my body feels dirty though, I'm gonna shower off. So you gotta feel you. If I sat around all day, probably okay.
Unless you're sitting on a plane.
I always shower after a plane. Doesn't matter.
So that's my opinion. That's Kelly's opinion. What's your opinion? Just pause it right now and tell us. Totally. I'll absolutely understand what you're saying. You are such an important part of the show and podcast.
Thank you for your input.
Yes, that was great. Thank you. Next up, Teslas used to make people look cool. Now they just make you look like a tool.
100% agree. Ooh.
59%.
Just kidding. Because, go ahead. 59% what?
Agreed.
Yeah. Here's the deal. I don't think that's always true. You want a Tesla. You've wanted a Tesla for a long time.
I don't want to talk about it.
I just think that they're not as cool as they were when they came out because they're more accessible for people.
At least in LA, they're everywhere.
Yeah, but I think that they're actually a really great car. And I think if it makes sense for your life, like it's great. Yeah. But what I truly think about Teslas is I think that they were put on a pedestal of like, they're amazing. They're so great. Look at this, which fairness, they were really ahead of their game. Mm-hmm. But I don't think it fits everybody's life. It doesn't fit our life right now. And it depends on what you value. Do you value time when it comes, and I'll talk about this time, or do you value, well, money is a weird thing to say, but like for us, I look at it and I go, we'd have to sit somewhere for 20 minutes to fill up and we drive so much. Like, is it worth that to do that every 2 or so days?
Yeah. For context, we drive 120 miles every single day just to take our kid to and from school.
When we have her. Yeah. Every other week.
Yeah. So, and with a car that has like a 300-ish mile to the charge capacity, we'd be filling up very, very frequently or topping off whatever you're charging.
And is it worth it to sit around for 20 minutes at a Tesla? We wouldn't be able to put a Tesla charging station, or what's not what it's called, but a supercharger in our house. So like, it's easier, I think, for us to either have a hybrid or a gas car because it takes you 5 minutes to fill up, if that, versus 20 minutes of sitting for 80% charge. Anyway,
I won't weigh in, but the girls know how I feel.
That's true. No, I also think it's how you present yourself too with your Tesla. Are you like, oh my gosh, I have a Tesla? Or are you like, it's just my car and it makes sense for me? Yeah,
there's a cool new electric series of vehicles I think it's called the Rivian. And they look a little wonky, but they're super duper cool. So they're expensive though. We'll see what happens. Ooh, I'm getting that sipping cream coming around.
I know.
Here we go. Number 4, saying that everyone needs therapy is stupid.
I think everyone needs therapy.
I agree. And 42% agreed, 58% disagreed. I didn't look at who disagreed.
Those 58% of you need therapy. That's why you're saying you don't need therapy.
Like, we'll vote, but we're not going to listen.
I used to live in that boat. I just want everyone to know. I used to live in the boat of where I was like, I don't need therapy. I'm totally fine. I can work this out on my own.
And then what happened?
And then you said, you need therapy. And I got into therapy. And guess what I learned? I needed some therapy.
It's true, because we all do.
Someone to talk to.
It doesn't mean you're broken. It doesn't mean you're messed up.
No.
But look, it's like...
Although those were my insecurities. I felt like there's something wrong with me and broken, but that's not true at all.
That's the connotation that so many people have.
Yeah. Look, if you need a tutor for something, if you need to ask help when you're at work because you don't understand it, what's wrong with asking for help in your life? None of us know what we're doing. We're all just living life trying to figure it out. Therapists don't really know either, but they have better tools to help you and to give you direction and an outside perspective that can actually help you learn more about yourself or learn more about your partner or learn more about your feelings, whatever that looks like. It's just another tool in the same way that you use tools in work and life and school. Okay.
Yeah. And if someone was like, if this question wasn't saying that everyone needs therapy is stupid, if it was saying that everyone needs friends is stupid, you'd be like, well, that's ridiculous. Like, you have to have people in your life and friends in your life. Yeah. Otherwise it's very lonely. I think it's similar to that. Like, in the same way that you wouldn't want to take out friends from your life. It's similar in the sense of you need people to pour into your life, to give you their thoughts, to be able to bounce ideas off of. The problem is not everybody's friends are educated enough to give you sound advice in your life. And the therapist, at least in my experience, has been closer to that for me. Yeah. Which is a person who is listening and giving me insight that I couldn't necessarily get to myself. Yeah. Because I was too close to a situation. Yep. And I think that does everyone need it? No. Would everyone benefit from it? Yes. Yeah. So those were the runner-ups. And now we've officially come to the
one
top
of these
3.
I think I know because Simone and I talked about it, but.
Oh yeah. So that is not on me because I don't tell you these. Okay. Here are the 3
Can you start with the one that's on? Do you know which one it is? You know which one it is.
Yes, I do.
Okay,
but
do whatever
honestly,
you want.
I left that to the last one because I do think it is kind of what this podcast is all about.
Okay, dude.
So if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So here are what I'm
You
calling
smart.
the controversial opinions in the sense that they are the most split amongst the people
Okay.
voting. So the first one was this. Everything does not happen for a reason, and the universe does not care about you.
Are you not going to tell me what people said?
Would you like to hear it first?
Can you read it again?
Everything does not happen for a reason, and the universe does not care about you.
No, I think everything happens for a reason.
Do you?
I do.
Tell me. And cough just straight into the microphone. That's great.
I was just clearing my throat.
Straight into the
To
microphone.
prepare for this answer. I don't know. I think that things happen for a reason. I think that there is every choice you make comes with the reaction, whether positive or negative. I don't know that it's necessarily the universe who's saying I care about you or not, but I think everything happens for a reason, whether you made it happen or someone around you made it happen. I also believe in the invisible string theory.
Whoa, this is new information. What in the world is the invisible string theory?
That people that are meant to be together have an invisible string that has been pulling them together their entirety time. And so you could be in maybe you've been in the same place at the same time or been in the same room or have the same kind of friend groups, but haven't quite met each other until the right time when it was supposed to happen and supposed to be a thing.
That's so cute.
Right?
And probably the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
I believe that about you and me.
I love you, but
you.
that's stupid. You are intelligent and beautiful and bright, but come on. You think there's an invisible string that connects people at the right time?
Yes, I do.
Oh.
Soulmates,
Show me the verse.
shall we say.
I don't believe in soulmates.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, this is the best way I can describe it, but
Sure.
like your person.
Yeah. No.
You don't have to believe it. I do.
Hey, look, I'm happily married to you now
Yeah.
and forevermore.
I know you weren't before to somebody, but hear me when I say this. We have lived our whole lives in the same vicinity of people.
I mean,
You've done conferences at the church that I grew up at.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
I went to your church. I probably met you years before I actually met you.
Right.
While I was doing stuff there. You came into Chick-fil-A all the time. We literally lived in the valley. You live right down the street from the high school I went to. Like, we've literally been within the same group of like a world and structure for the majority of our life. Mm-hmm. We found each other at the time that was right for us. But I believe there's a little invisible string between the two of us.
Aww.
That's been following us along and pulling us closer and closer until the time was right, which we now found. And here we are.
You know what? After hearing that, I think it's the stupidest thing ever.
I knew you were still going to say that.
It's still
I believe
not
it.
The case.
Let me know if you believe it.
I love you. And if anyone's like, he's being so mean.
He's not. He
No.
just doesn't believe in stuff like that. And that's totally fine. Remind me of the question. Because I went to invisible string. Oh, the universe doesn't care about you.
So
Things happen for a
to
reason.
clarify, and to double clarify, first, as a reminder, these are not our unpopular opinions.
Yeah.
These are unpopular opinions that I pull, but it's that everything does not happen for a reason and the universe does not care about you. Now, for whoever's reading this, I don't know if if they read the universe and think of the ambiguous universe. I don't know if they're looking at it and they're thinking of God. I'm not sure what world. Everyone from different ages, stages, and theological backgrounds are reading this and answering this without context. They're just saying agree or disagree.
Yeah, I disagree because I think everything does happen for a reason. Truly. I think you have the ability to change, like to make choices that can affect what happens. But I do think that everything happens for a reason.
Okay. You ready for my turn?
Yeah. He put the iPad down.
Get ready for the next 45 minutes of me talking straight to you. Here's the deal. There is no deal because a lot of people are, honestly, kind of. Not a lot of people I think are going to agree with me, except for maybe Randy, who I love.
It's probably true.
I wholeheartedly, without exception, sorry, I've had 58 moonshines, do not think that everything happens for a reason. I do not think there is a grand plan. I don't think there is a plan for your life.
I didn't say that.
I do not think that you or me or you are special. But I think in the lack of specialness, the fact that any of us are here to do anything is special and beautiful and worthwhile. I don't think that there's a master plan that you somehow stumble into. I think we all have free will and free choice. I do, however, think that everything is perfect. Even the worst parts, which is horrible to say, but let me clarify. I think that everything is perfect in the sense of your life story only because it has to be that way. It's not because there was a grand plan that means your biggest hurt had to happen. I'm saying the fact that your biggest hurt already happened is a part of your unerasable story. It's a perfect story and a perfect part of your life because there's nothing you can do to change it. And there's nothing you can do to switch that or to have made it not happen because it's already happened. And I think that all of the choices that we've made or have been made for us or that have happened to us, whether it be good or terrible, all somehow comes together to be to land us exactly where we're at. So I do feel passionate about this.
Invisible string.
God.
Sorry.
But this is the thing. I could have just as easily been born in Kuwait.
That's
and
true,
your
but you
invisible
weren't.
string would not have gotten to me.
But you weren't. You were born here. So invisible string.
Well, then we have to get into
I'm
like
just saying. You don't
who
have
knows?
to believe me.
So there's a
or
million,
agree with me.
There's a million different worldviews.
Yeah.
A bazillion of them.
I mean, we happen to both be here
Yes.
within the same worldview.
But some people would say that's incredible. And then when you die, it's over. Or you go to heaven. Or you go to your own planet. Or you go back to the dirt. Whatever.
Yeah. We all.
Other people would say this has happened more times than you could possibly understand.
And we always find each other.
Some people would say that.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily say that or any of it. Is it fun to think about a world in which you keep living lives and keep finding each other? That's awesome. It's very fun. Do I have any evidence of that? No, absolutely not. Nobody does. But in the same way that nobody has evidence of what happens after you die, whether it's dirt or planet or heaven, like nobody knows. But to finish my thought with all of this moonshine that's swirling around in my Tums, I don't think that the universe or God or whatever you want to call it hates you or doesn't like you. And at the same time, I also don't think that everything happens for a reason, while at the same time saying that everything that has happened has already happened. I don't think there's a rhyme or reason for it. When a tree falls down in the forest, like,
Does anybody hear it?
I've also come to the conclusion that like it does make a sound, because why wouldn't it?
It does, yeah.
But if it falls down in the forest, was that because that was the purpose of its life, or just because erosion happened over time? I think so many things just happen.
It's a part of the life cycle. But anyways.
For sure. I mean, that was just an arbitrary example that I threw out there. I think that we are addicted to our own specialness and think that whether it's the universe or a God or somebody, it is easier for us to think and go through life believing that there's a perfect plan for our life and things will go our way. I think the reality is that us as a human race, we've all just made all of this stuff up. The industry we work in, the TV shows we watch, the labor we put, it's all like, no one was like, this is the way it has to be. It just happened that way. And so we're all living in a system that just exists. And so it's perfect because it has to be. It's not, but I think when you take the emotions out of it, there's no such thing as good and bad. When an animal eats another animal, the animal just got eaten. It's the worst day ever.
It's true.
For them and all their children.
Yeah.
For the one that just ate, it's the best day ever because I get to keep existing.
Yeah.
Is it better or worse? No, it just is. So I do feel strongly about this, and I know I'm in the minority.
That's okay.
But I don't think that everything happens for a reason.
And we can agree to disagree.
I think everything happens because it happens.
And I'll love you through it.
Good night, everybody. Just kidding. More. Okay. So
that's good though. I mean, I hear what you're saying, that everything happens because it happens. I think everything happens for a reason, whether it be that animal an animal died so another animal can eat. It happened so that animal could eat.
You
and
think
the animal
the stuff
survives.
that's happened to
I don't
you
think that
in
somebody
your
is
life,
orchestrating this. I think that's the difference and separating that. But I think that things happen for a reason, whether good or bad. It just happens. And I think it happens because we all make decisions that have effects that lead into that. So even if it's bad, like there's something that you did that led to that thing. And the point, hopefully, is that you learn and you grow, or that someone around you learns and grows, and you become wiser, you can become better, you can become stronger, or
Totally.
you die.
Or you die.
Depending on what decision you made eventually.
But is that the reason? It happened so you could die?
No, I think it happened so other people around you can learn things.
So you think that the things that have happened to you, the traumatic things that have happened, happen for a reason? Or
it's a cause and effect.
Or those things happened to me, so therefore I learned from them.
I think that's it. I think the hope would be that you can use the experiences that you have
100%
to make the world a better place, but to make people around you have a better experience. For me, it's about Brooklyn. I'm hoping that what happened to me will never happen to her.
I agree.
Or that she can learn from my mistakes and your mistakes, because I also wish that she doesn't have to go through what you went through.
I've made no mistakes.
Yeah. But you know what I mean? I hope those things. And if I would have never gone through them, and you would have never gone through them, like we wouldn't know. You don't know what you don't know. And so for me, I look at it and go, well, I can educate my daughter and I can choose to prepare for things that maybe normal people wouldn't prepare their kids for, because I want her to know certain things, or I want her to be prepared, or I want her to be aware.
I agree with
and I
all
think
that.
we're doing a great job with that.
Me too. And for anyone listening who doesn't know us well enough, this is the time in the conversation that, like, in our real life, Brooklyn would come out and she'd be like, everybody okay?
We'd be like, we're totally cool, baby.
We're still good. I think one of the things I really value about you in our relationship is that we can have conversations about things we see differently and disagree on, and even have like high emotions about, and rarely take personal offense to it. And if we do, the other person always comes back and they're like, "Hey, I'm sorry if it came across that way, or I shouldn't have said that."
I don't feel like
so. If anyone's listening and feeling like there's tension, we're still good.
I don't feel like there's any tension.
No,
we're just talking about, not even really passionately, we're talking about things that how we feel, what we think.
Yep. I'm just choked up from all that sipping cream.
Yep. All right. I'm ready for the next one.
Yeah. You know what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take that one that you were talking about earlier from Shimmy, and I'll put it now because we can end on like a lighter one before we get to stories.
Okay.
So the one that we'll talk about now, I'm so sorry. I can't. It's hard to not burp this
You
out.
got it.
It's so gross. That banana one's terrible.
Don't drink it. I put it away.
Okay, so the one that we were referring to earlier is making your relationship work with your spouse or partner shouldn't feel like work.
Okay, so I have thoughts on this, and I will share my thoughts. Simone did talk to me about this recently because I learned that her and Nick talk about the unpopular opinions as you put them up.
Love it.
So she gave me her insight, but this is mine. Sorry. So sorry.
No more sipping cream.
Moonshine, sipping cream. So say it again so I can say whether I agree or disagree, because I don't know how it's...
Sure. Here's the phrase. Making your relationship work with your spouse or partner shouldn't feel like work.
Okay. My answer is that I agree with that. I don't think it should feel like work. And here's why. I think that a healthy relationship, this is my personal opinion, I think a healthy relationship is built on compromises. The hope would be that you meet someone where you guys have things in common.
Sure.
And so not everything is a compromise, that you're just on the same page with things, or you can talk through things and you agree. But I believe that in life is made up of compromises. You compromise things. It should never be things that hurt you or harm you or that harm other people. But I believe that it's made of compromises. A great example would be, we went to Disney World. You don't love Disney World, but you were there with a smile on your face and you rode rides and you ate food and you had a pretty good time. It wouldn't have been your choice to do that, but the compromise is, hey, we're spending time with our friends and we're doing this and it's fun.
I had a pretty good attitude.
Yeah, you did. But I believe that relationships are made up of compromises. And I feel that when it begins to feel like work or hard, because when I think of work, I think of it's hard. It's like, it's not working. And so I'm working hard to make it work. That's what I imagine when you ask me this question.
Yeah.
Which I realize not everyone does, but that's me. I think that it begins to feel that way when one person is making more compromises than the other person is willing to make.
Yeah.
And so one person is compromising all the time. The other person is choosing to not compromise and continue to take, and they become a taker.
Generally what we've seen happen a lot.
Yes. And the person that is compromising all the time stops compromising, and then you get into tension because the other person that's been taking this whole time and not willing to compromise
what's going on?
doesn't understand why this person isn't willing to compromise. And so then it begins to feel like work because you're actively working hard to try to get on the same page or try to figure out what's going to make each other happy or whatever. And that's when I think you get into toxic relationships. That's when I think relationships begin to break down. That's my own personal opinion.
Sure.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, for sure.
Simone had a different thought on it.
Is that something we can share?
Yes, I asked her, which I had never, I didn't think of it this way. So Simone looked at work, not as, she looked at it as hard, but as like rewarding. And so she said, yes, I do think that relationships should be work or our work, because she said it this way. She said, we all come into relationships with our own past trauma, and we normally find people, we normally, we're drawn to people that can heal our childhood traumas.
Yeah.
And anytime you're healing a trauma or working through something, it's hard work and it freaking hurts and it's not fun. And she said, I want a relationship to be, I'm paraphrasing, so someone can correct me if I'm wrong, but I want a relationship to be work. Because if we're not working towards something together and working through hard things to get to become a better version of ourselves, then it's just boring. And I don't want to be in a boring relationship. Which I didn't think of it that way. Again, it's two different views of thinking about it.
Sure.
But I see that point and I understand it.
Yeah.
And I agree with that. But I also agree with what I said. So that's where I'm at. What are your thoughts?
So here's the tricky piece is that when people are voting on these, and we're so grateful for the tons of people who vote on them. Thank you. They don't get a chance to clarify like we do.
Yeah.
They just say agree or disagree.
Yeah.
So it's tricky because usually there's a lot of elements involved to this. So this one is making your relationship work with your spouse or partner shouldn't feel like work. For me, if I read that, just initial blink is like, yeah, it shouldn't feel like work.
Yeah.
But that is also, in its brevity, is taking away from the fact that everything in life is work. Relationships have elements that are work. Even if your job is the thing you're most excited and passionate about, there's still parts of it that are work. I think you and I, we've had a philosophy since the beginning that when she succeeds, we succeed. When he succeeds, we succeed because we're partners. And that's why I don't like calling you a possessive thing like my wife. If anything, you are my partner. We do life together.
Yep.
I've heard so many people like, and when you finally get together, you're a whole, as if you're like 50% and 50%. And now you're one whole person. And people are like, not that. You need to be two whole 100% people that come together. And that's closer, but still not right. We're all just individuals trying to do life together.
Yeah.
I think in my experience, which is not to put down anyone for the sake of elevating anyone else, is that I understand that relationships are work, for sure. For me, it's like, just like these unpopular opinions, what's the percentage here? Is it 90% work and 10% fun?
Yeah.
Or worse?
Yeah.
Or is it like, yeah, there's work involved.
Yeah.
Because there's schedules, there's conflicts,
Yep.
there's multiple people's priorities, opinions, and thoughts. Like all of that is work. And I think growth is really important. I think that many people get trapped. Sorry, I want to try to do this in a way that's genuine and not just broad stroking people. I think it's easy to find yourself in a relationship where it is more work than it needs to be.
Yeah.
Not that there shouldn't be work involved, but if you wake up in the morning and you're like, I'm so sad I can't keep sleeping because it means I have to do another day of whatever this is.
Yeah.
That's not how life should be.
Yeah.
And certainly not how your closest relationship should be.
Yeah. Should be your safest place.
Totally. And you know this, and maybe I'm belaboring it for people who know us too, but like, I'm so grateful for the relationship that we have, because even though we spend like every second of every day together, and there's times where we're like, we need just to maybe have solo time, which is rare. Like we find so much joy in each other.
Yeah.
We find joy in our family. We were talking about it on the car ride with B to school today. All three of us driving 45 minutes to school this morning, saying like, it's so cool that we don't have to plan family nights, because almost every night is a family night because we're always doing things together. And call it enmeshed, call it codependent, call it whatever you want. But for me, I call it joy and I call it happiness.
It works for us. Yeah.
It works for us, and it won't work for everybody.
Because
that is, I think that might be the secret to life, in the sense that so many people, whether it's because of a worldview, a theological position, or an opinion, think that for better or for worse, and I'm painting with a broad brush here, that certain things should be true of all people.
Yeah.
The more you live life, the more you realize that's just not the case. Is that we're all wired differently. What's remarkable is, think about it this way. I was talking to my brother Adam about this. 1 + 1 doesn't always equal 2.
That's true.
Look at kids. If you have a family that has more than one kid, just look at those children and realize how 1 + 1 doesn't always equal that same 2. It equals something else. It equals child 1 and other child. It's just different, because even if you put the same ingredients into the game that we call life, you get something different.
Yeah.
My hope is that bad people who harm people get what's coming to them, and that for the rest of us, the majority of people that are good people have so much happiness and joy in their life, and they don't commit to staying in terrible situations. And don't read into this. I'm not trying to speak ill of anyone. I'm just saying, if you're in a situation that it is relentless work, it is constant work, I hope you find happiness somehow. Part of the reason why we started this and we called it Hardly Working was because we saw so much stuff on the internet, particularly on TikTok and Instagram, that was just people crapping all over their spouses.
Yeah.
So happy that my husband's on a guy's night, or getting away on a girl's trip to finally get some time to myself. And that's just not something we've ever connected with, because God, we enjoy being with our best friends, which is it's each other. Mm-hmm. And so part of the reason we have this show is because our hope is that your life doesn't feel like relentless work. Does it include work? Absolutely. But when you're with your partner, I hope that it feels like a rest and a respite from the work most of the time. And that the work part of it has to be there, but it's a much lower percentage than the other stuff. Yeah. That's how I feel.
I agree.
You want to go to our last one?
Yeah.
P.S. I freaking love you.
I freaking love you too.
You're awesome. I really value you.
Thanks, baby.
The last one, and it's a little bit lighter, is people only associate Michelin star restaurants, luxury vehicles, and designer items. Let me try that one more time. Designer items with quality because of the price tag, not because they are inherently better. This is a long one. It's basically saying all the things that we put on a pedestal as it's exclusive and elite and wonderful isn't because they're better quality. It's just because we put them on a pedestal, or we think they're not inherently better. We just give them that value.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
It's not easy.
Oh,
I think it's
snap. I just realized.
What?
I'm so sorry to interrupt you.
Go for it.
I have to tell you, the other one we just talked about, the work one, so close. It was 49% agreed that making your relationship work with your spouse shouldn't feel like work, and 51% disagreed. So it was like
so close.
Almost completely down to the wire.
Is this one 50-50?
This next one that we're talking about?
Yeah.
No, this one is 57% agreed and 43% disagreed.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think it's hard to put all luxury things into one category, though, because I do believe that there are some luxury things that really are like luxury and worth the price point and are like that thing, but the majority of stuff just isn't. And we can talk about experiences we've had, but
let's just say this. Anytime we've gone to like a very fancy like steakhouse,
restaurant steakhouse, I'm
like, this is some boomer stuff where like they think that this is high quality because they have to pay $100 for a steak.
For sure. And I would say this, it's not always true, because you can let's just compare like a fancy steakhouse to like, I would say that Din Tai Fung is probably considered like a luxury. It does have Michelin stars, like at all that other places, like, but that to us is worth it because it's so good and it is the best quality. Yeah. We just feel based off of our preference that some of the steakhouses we've been to are just not the quality that we like or the things that we like, and it's not quite what we want.
And also, I think it comes from a different time period where it was like, if you want to have a fancy steak, like you can't just go to the store and get that. No. You got to go to it. You got to make it. But now Lowry's or Ruth
we have
Chris.
Access to the internet. Gordon Ramsay's taught us all how to make the best steak. Like we have that. But I do think it's true for some things. I think luxury brands are less. I think paying $5,000, while hopefully one day I'll have a nice bag like that. It's a weird thing that females I think just want stuff like that. But to pay $5,000 for a bag, my expectation is that it never dies. Like it will always hold up and stay the same. Yeah. I do think that luxury brands tend like that. This is a long-winded answer for me. Luxury brands like that tend to have better, what's what I'm looking for?
Like durability, lifespan, that kind of stuff.
Like if it breaks, we'll replace it to lifetime guarantee type
kind
of
of
thing.
like Madewell, even though we kind of go back and forth on Madewell.
Yeah, but it's that idea. The one exception to this rule for me that I think really is luxury is hotels. I true like there is a difference between a Motel 6 and a 4 to 5 star hotel, and even a 4 to 5, like 4 stars to 5 stars. I think there is a large difference at what you are getting and the quality of the room that you have and all of that stuff. I'm not trying to be bougie. I'm just saying, like,
here's what I'll say, and I don't want to say anything terrible, like specific to certain brands of like hotels, because we are open to your sponsorship. But okay, so we're on the road all the time. Yeah, so we're not paying for most of these hotels. Typically, the clients are. There are certain hotels and resorts that are just not for me. They're beautiful, they're wonderful, and they are uncomfortable to me. Yeah, I feel like an outsider there.
I love them.
Which I'm not complaining, because there's so many people who truly feel like outsiders for reasons that are not okay. They feel like outsiders because of the color of their skin or the amount of money they make or the clothes they wear. And that is a totally different thing, and that's so crappy, and I'm sorry if that's your experience. What I'm saying for me is that much like a bottle of wine, like you can give me a $9 bottle of wine, $11 bottle of wine, and then you can give me like a $1,000 bottle of wine, and I'll be like, I'm totally cool with the $9.
Yeah.
While I don't want to stay at the motels typically, put me at a Hilton, a Hyatt, a Marriott, I'm totally fine.
But I would say that a Hilton, Hyatt, and Marriott are more luxury than most hotels.
Yes, but they're not Ritz Carltons. They're not Gaylord resorts. They're not a ton of different places.
That's true.
They're not the highest.
But whether or not you feel comfortable, what I will say is that there is a difference in like expectation of how like the staff treats you, the room, and what's provided in the room, and different things like that. Like remember when we stayed at the Gaylord for an event, like they literally had do you remember that? They had like a welcome bag that had like a bunch of different treats and snacks.
That may have been from
things.
a client though.
I don't, maybe, but I'm just saying, but that's not normally offered at other places like that. It's expected, and it's probably a part of the package that the client paid for. Yeah. But you know what I mean? Like it's a different quality where like you really do get what you're paying for.
True. Except remember when we went to Mexico last October?
Yeah.
And that couldn't have been a crazier experience.
That's a story for another time.
Okay.
I cried.
So in case I didn't say it, 57% agreed that it's not really the quality. It's just the thought. And I think much more about clothes. I see so many people on like Instagram lives who are like, what belt are you wearing? To like put people down. Like if you need to have a designer belt in order to feel like you have status, you really got to like figure out your priorities.
Yeah. And here's what I'll say. Sorry, about clothing. I don't own a lot of design. I don't own any designer clothing, unless you count Madewell as designer clothing, or like I have some Coach bags and stuff. But I feel like that is different. I do think that I do think that they are higher quality. I really do. But that doesn't mean that I need them or that they're not as great as other stuff.
But here's the deal: there's a difference between high quality items and designer items, in the sense that we both. But by the time we got together, we were together making the shift from particularly clothing that was just inexpensive and attainable to it costs a little more, but it has a longer life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like we made that shift together.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean Gucci.
No. For sure.
So anyway, that's how I feel about that. We have a couple more minutes for stories.
I know.
Before I'm about to get all this sipping cream out of my body in one way or another.
Oh my gosh. All right, give me 2 stories.
Just two?
Okay, how many do you have?
I have 58.
Give me 2.
Okay, so let me plow through these just 2 really fast because it is about us, but we won't go into detail.
Okay.
But the first one was this: alien corpses shown to Congress as UFO expert forced to testify under oath. Let me just say this. If you're not keeping up with the alien stuff,
you should.
You should. Yes. Something interesting happened recently in Mexico. I guess this is where it was. A self-proclaimed UFOologist and expert presented 2 mummified corpses of like little 3-foot extraterrestrials. Maybe they're like 2 feet. They have 3 fingers, and they have been studied by certain labs, but not open to the world. They said things like, I think only 30% of the DNA found in these mummified corpses are human DNA, and the other 60-ish to 70-ish is not known.
Unknown. Yeah. Okay.
Unknown. So I just wanted to say, while I don't think that aliens have ever visited the planet necessarily, I think it's preposterous to have a worldview that would say that there can't be life on any other planet in the bazillions of galaxies that there are. It's insane. So this is one story that we will keep you updated on.
Okay. Yeah, we will.
Okay. So that's the first one. Here's one that I really like, though. And this is totally...
Is this number 2?
This is number 2. Well, no, it's number 1. This is the first one. This is totally us, and I love it. Herd of sheep eat 200 pounds of cannabis in Greece.
What?
Yes. So let's talk about stories. So there's a lot happening here. I didn't realize what was going on in Greece lately, but a flock of sheep were struggling to find grass to eat after a storm flooded their grazing
found
area.
A different type of grass.
Yes,
what you're telling me.
They did. The flock's the flock's shepherd noticed that the flock of sheep was acting differently and strangely, and discovered that they had broken into a greenhouse that had been damaged during a recent storm that was growing cannabis in Greece, which is actually a very huge up-and-coming industry there.
Interesting.
So they ate about 200 pounds of weed.
Okay.
But the real story here is the poor guy who owned the greenhouse. He said this. He said, I don't know if it's for laughing or crying, he told this newspaper. We had the heat wave and we lost a lot of production. We had the floods and we lost almost everything. And now this. The herd entered the greenhouse and ate what was left. I don't know what to say, honestly.
Oh my gosh.
So not only do you have like tons of high sheep roaming around Greece, which is already awesome.
Yeah.
But this poor guy, this Job story of this guy who's like, I get it. I shouldn't be growing weed. So the universe does have a plan for you, and it does care about you.
Thoughts and prayers to you.
Not your cannabis business.
Sorry.
I guess. All right, next one, unless you have anything you want to add to that.
No.
I know we're burning through them fast, but this was another good one because it comes with a story from me. Florida woman cited for keeping alligator in resort bathtub.
I'm sorry, what?
Yep.
What resort?
Any guesses what state this was in?
You said Florida woman.
Oh, well.
Was it in Florida?
Guess. Yeah, it was in Orlando.
Oh, yeah, was it
where
really?
we just were. Yes. So let me pull this up. This woman had an alligator in the bathtub of her resort.
Why? Is it a pet? Did she capture it?
There's so many questions, and I'm so happy to tell you that I have so many answers. Okay. I got to just find it now because it was so much stuff that I couldn't take like specific bullet points. I just had to go to it. A woman in Orange County, not California, but Florida, was cited after deputies learned that she was keeping an alligator in a bathtub, according to Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission. The FWC, as we call them, said they learned of the Orange County from the Orange County Sheriff's Office that the woman was keeping the gator in a bathtub at the Grove Resort and Water Park in Winter Garden. Hearing from her that she had, quote unquote, borrowed the animal without permission from Croc Encounter. I can't even say it. Croc Encounters in Tampa Bay, where she said she used to work. According to a news release, the FWC officers arrived in her room on September 4th, and they located the juvenile alligator inside a bathtub.
That's crazy.
The summary of the report goes into details. The woman claims she visited the business ahead of opening and used keys she still had on hand to gain access and retrieve the reptile.
Did she was she there when this reptile was born?
I don't know that much. I don't know, but she transported to Orange County where she planned to stay for 5 days so that she could take pictures with it. Wait for it. For her birthday.
What?
This chick stole an alligator, put it in a bathtub for 5 days so she could take...
It's a birthday present.
It's a birthday alligator. Officers cited the woman for unlawful sale, possession, or transporting of alligators or alligator skins. The individual was cited accordingly. The alligator was returned to its permitted owner.
Good.
So the reason I bring this up is not only because it's crazy, but also because I went to school in Oklahoma for 1 year. One of those days in that year, I was told to go to a different floor to see what was living in someone's dorm room. Under the bed, in an empty dorm room, was no less than a 5-foot alligator.
And you found it?
I didn't find it. I saw it. It was in the bed.
It was in the bed or under the bed?
It was under, sorry.
What
It
is
was
it?
under the bed.
Okay.
I'm so sorry. It was under the bed. But so in the rooms, it gets really cold during the winter, really hot during the summer. So they have like these little crank timer things.
Yeah.
So they just cranked it all the way up to heat as if like it had like a sunlight on
Yeah.
it. And they were feeding this poor alligator hot dogs. They just throw hot dogs into the room. This is a real story that I experienced firsthand.
That's
Someone
crazy.
was housing an alligator. I forget. I think he was from out of the country, but it was like, yeah, I'm gonna leave school and take it with me. But this is happening. This isn't just happening in Florida. It's happening at least in
They're
Oklahoma.
like, they're so cute. I want the alligator. It's going to be my friend.
They are not cute.
No.
They are
They're
not cool.
terrifying.
Okay, I'm going to be honest with you and everyone listening. I have to go to the bathroom so bad after all these sipping creams. But
Okay.
we have one more story that I want to hit because I think it's kind of genius. I won't read the article. I'll just give you the gist of
Thank
it.
you.
Here's the headline. Artist, not a singer, artist, painter,
Okay.
drawer. Artist ordered to pay museum back $77,000 after submitting 2 blank canvases under the title, Take the Money and Run.
I heard about this.
Did you really?
I've heard about this specific thing. It actually made me think of the Archer episode where they're like, like when they're in Mexico. You know, it's like a 3-part series, and it's a blank canvas, and they're like, he painted it, and then he painted white over it, and it's just blank, and they're like, it's worth so much money. I'm like, it's just a blank canvas.
It's a blank canvas. Yeah.
It's so funny. But yeah, when you title something, Take the Money and Run. He didn't do anything to that.
He literally took the money and ran.
Yeah.
So basically what happened here was this guy, he had an exhibit at the museum before, and they were like, okay, you can have this one, and we will loan you this basically like 75 grand or euros or whatever it was to put in the installation to be given back to me, the museum, at the end. Well, he hung the 2 blank canvases, and then he just left. He was like, the money is mine. And then the museum ended up suing him, as you might imagine, trying to get the money back. The best part, though, is I forget what country this happened in. Oh, Denmark. Even the people in the museum were like, it's kind of hilarious that he did this.
Yeah.
But also, we're a museum and don't make a lot of money, so we need the $75,000
Yeah, so give back to us. Thanks.
Yes. But he was like, the guy was asked, like, why did you do it? Like, what's the deal? He's like, I took their money and I ran. It's the name of the exhibit.
Yeah, it's literally what it is.
Now he's like, I'm facing a lot of hardships. I don't have a lot of money because I'm an artist. But he just literally stole $750,000.
Crazy.
It is pretty amazing. So look that up. It's a good time. What are you looking forward to this week? Anything for you?
I was about to ask you that. What is happening? Oh, we're going to my cousin's wedding this week, and I have another event at the end of the week as well. So that'll be fun. And we're going to go see the Paw Patrol movie with Brooklyn because she really wants to see that movie.
Oh my gosh, you like nailed everything.
I know.
Those are the things we're doing. Looking forward to the wedding. Looking forward to the Paw Patrol movie. But also, I've got another premiere coming up. I don't know if I can say what it is yet, but it's coming up next week.
Yeah, we'll talk about it next week.
We'll talk about it next week.
Yeah, and I'll add this. My brother's coming with us, and I'm really excited to hang out with Ryan and to get, it's a 3-hour car drive to where this wedding is. So I'm excited to like
listen to Hardly Working the whole time.
Yep. Well, and Brooklyn loves Ryan, and Ryan loves, so it's going to be a fun time.
Hey,
so I'm excited.
That's not just a wrap on episode 10. That's a wrap on season 1, baby.
Woo-woo!
Good times. We're going to be coming at you in your eyeballs and ear holes for many, many more seasons. I love you.
I love you too.
And we love you. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time on season 2 of Hardly Working.
Bye.
Bye. I got to be.
Nailed it.
Go, Sam.